though they said it wasn't supposed to be windy today, but this is New Mexico and it's almost springtime. I'm afraid as soon as I turn around, my mic is just gonna die. Like, it's just gonna die. What's up, guys? Welcome to the inaugural S22 Ultra episode. So just got my S22, very excited about it, and I figured I want to try something different. I guess for me, coming to White Sands, since I kind of live here, isn't really that different. But usually when I come here for videos, or rather every time I come here for a video, I try to do something different. So last time I came here, I did the 800mm challenge where I just only used my giant 800mm. So this couldn't be any further from opposite of that. So we're gonna use this. I'm gonna try to walk you guys through some of my compositions and my thoughts, and this isn't gonna be a full review. This is just testing it out for the landscape stuff. However, I am using the Expert Raw Mode app, and what I like about that, the couple of things that I really like about that is, one, it allows you to do 16-bit RAW, which is great. And two, they have in the Pro mode now, they have everything can be automatic. So you can set the ISO, the shutter speed, all of that stuff, the white balance, all to auto, and then you can take pictures like normal, except you'll have the RAW capability, and that's what I want. So I'm gonna be able to edit these. I stopped right here because this section behind me has some really cool shadows that are starting to happen. We're starting to see some S-curves, and it's a really pristine bit of sand. There's no footprints or anything like that. So let me turn my screen recording thing on. Okay, so when I turn around, we're gonna see what happens to the wind. Okay, so we're opening up the RAW app here. So this is what I'm looking at. I want my telephoto, actually I want a wide shot like that. So I want it down, and I'm just gonna leave this all in auto. It's fine. 2,000th of a second shutter. And I'm just gonna adjust my composition, take a few shots so I'm happy. Now I'm gonna do the telephoto, because that's what, look at that beautiful S-curve. Okay, so that was my first composition. I kind of like it. And I've got the close-up, which I really like that S-curve. I like that a lot. Okay, so we're gonna keep hiking. I think we've done about a mile or so. I think there's some better compositions to be had and some snacks to be had. We're gonna hope that this wind dies down a little bit, and I will see you in a second and walk you through some more compositions. Let's go get Sandy. So I found another spot. Normally I like to shoot that way on top of one of these big hills, and then like shoot with a telephoto or something and get some compression and all that stuff, but I'm trying some different stuff here. So I'm gonna be shooting with the regular wide. Hold on, let me do the screen recording thing again. All right, so check this out. We have this beautiful S-curve right there. So I'm gonna start off by, let's go landscape mode. And I want some of this texture down here. And you'll notice, I don't know if it's recording the grid or not, but I have the grid turned on, and I'm putting that S-curve on the left third grid. Okay, so now if I look at the ultra wide, that's too wide. I like this line, but there's footprints there, so that's a no-go. I kind of like that. God, look at all this dust. That's better. Get lower to accentuate this stuff right here. And I'm gonna put it back in the regular wide. And I'm just gonna have that bit end on the screen, on the right side of the screen there. It's really hard to tell, so a little tip, it's really hard to tell like what anything looks like on your screens or the cameras or anything when it's so bright out here. So I try to take a bunch of really similar shots but slightly adjusted on X and Y. That way when I get home I can see which one looks the best on the monitors, you know, because it's just so hard to see out here right now, or hear, or anything. This wind is ridiculous. Okay, all right. Also, all of my clouds disappeared. There were clouds. I mean, it was completely cloudy earlier, and we were hoping for an amazing sunset. But now, that's not gonna happen. All right, I'm gonna try to catch some of this wind. Let's go find a better spot, because this isn't gonna do for sunset. On. We have a low in the wind for like 3 seconds. So check out, we made it to the end. Oh wow, check that out. That's my super telephoto, the 10 times zoom, and we're in the expert raw. I'm actually really liking the compression that's giving on the sand dunes, because the wider you shoot, these sand dunes are really small, so the wider you shoot from a distance, the smaller they look. But when you have a compression like this and you have a long lens, that's looking pretty good. So check this out. I'll put the wide on. So there's camera lady. That's the edge of the dunes. We have made it to the end. We've walked all the way across. So there's the unfortunate bit is there's not really too many compositions out here. Well, there is. Let me rephrase that. There's good compositions out here. However, for the light that we need and for sunset, we're more than 2 miles away from the car. And if you've ever walked in sand and been disabled like me with broken knees and backs, then walking 2 miles takes a long time. So the moral of the story is we're too far from the car right now to make it back in time to get out by the time they close. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to start heading back that way as the light gets good and finding some more spots. But here's what we're looking at. Check this out. So now we've got, this is the wide, this is the regular wide. I think it's like a 26 mil or something. So you can see the problem is everything's looking really flat because we're on top and the dunes are all getting away from us. So we're gonna kind of walk back into more the middle of the dunes and start looking for those shadowy contrasts. The contrast is what's really doing it, because the sun is over there and we want that hard contrast light to accentuate all of these S curves and turns and all that cool stuff, all the textures. So we're gonna be wanting to shoot this way to the south and this way to the west. And we don't want to shoot anywhere back there because you're going to lose all interesting things. So let's go back that way and see if we can find something. So I found my happiness spot. We're still gonna be pushing it for getting home. It's 5:25. We've got about 30 minutes until the sun goes down. So I'm not gonna be able to finish up, but I wanna show you this. This is probably one of the harder scenes for a phone, or for any camera really, but I think looking at the back of the screen, even though I can't see, so check this out. This is what we're looking at. What I want, I have to plug this, I've like wasted my batteries going down because I have my GPS running and the camera running, but I'm gonna go into my super telephoto. That's what I want right there. So this is seriously backlit, and that's what I'm looking at right there. I want that peak. I want the 3 dunes, 2 dunes and a peak. That's looking awesome. I'm gonna take a couple of landscape shots too, but that light is exactly what I want. So this is gonna be a really good test for both the pro mode and for editing that 16-bit RAW and seeing, hopefully it doesn't look like complete garbage. Because on the back of the screen, like, that looks really awesome. And then, all right, let's do this. Whoops. My fingers are like frozen. I can't feel anything. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna back out a little bit. Telephoto, I want that sun just out of frame. Just like that. All of that is gonna be super washed out, and I'm okay with that. It's gonna add to the ethereal quality of the photos. All right, we've got a few more minutes. I'm gonna test out the low light as we're running back, because we're literally gonna have to book it. Once we get into blue hour, we're still gonna have a little bit of time to get back, and I think we're gonna find some nice compositions on the way back. I'm not gonna vlog that part, but I will talk about that stuff. If I get anything good, I'll show you once we get home. So I will see you in the studio after I run a couple of miles. Okay, got fresh tea, we got fresh clothes, we got cleaned cameras. I think cleaning the cameras is definitely the worst part about White Sands. So that's why you invest in an air compressor. Just don't use it on your sensors. But for using it for the outer bits of the camera and the backpack. All right, so I've had a look at some of the images, and I just want to go over a few things and show you guys a few of the images on the computer. That way, now obviously I can see things. They look so much better when you can see them than when you can't. So for my first time out with the S22 Ultra, I will definitely say that so far I am highly impressed. So what I really want to take a look at is some of the stuff that I shot in the evening right around sunset. But here's what really impressed me. So this is the image that I've edited so far that I really liked. And you can see a kind of a before and after. And I'm really impressed. You know, I intentionally crushed the details here in these shadows. I think that's kind of more the look that I was going for. But having the light where I want it and not having this ridge be completely blown out is really impressive. All right, so let's just take a look at these two images real quick. So this I shot on the phone, and I just did a basic edit, and then same thing here, I did the same preset. This I shot on my R6, which is
half the megapixels of the R5. And I shot this on my 70-200 at 70 millimeters. This image I shot with the 3x telephoto lens on the S22 Ultra, which I think is about 79 millimeters. Interestingly, take a look at this real quick. Interestingly, it will show you the focal length here, so 7.9 millimeters, and then it'll show you the effective focal length in 35 millimeter equivalent, 69 millimeters. So we're talking a 1 millimeter difference. So effectively, this is the 3x telephoto is a 70 millimeter lens for full frame equivalent. Okay, so let's crop in. Again, like I said, this wasn't for comparison, but it's close enough. All right, so you can see the cropped in versions of both. The phone is on the right and the R6 is on the left. So this is why I say take everything I say in context, because the big boy camera is always going to win here. We're talking about a sensor size that is way bigger and a lens that has way more and way better glass. So that's all I wanted to point out. But overall, I think, especially if you're not zooming in, the phone photo is looking quite good. I'm really happy with that overall. I wish I would have framed it a little bit better, you know, more like this one. I prefer this composition better. I prefer more of the mountains up there, but whatever. All right, well, I think that's all I want to do for this one, so we don't have like a 9-hour-long video of me just editing images. I like where this is going. Preliminarily, I'm really enjoying the S22 Ultra. I will have a dedicated promo video like I usually do for my Samsung phones, because there is some new things in the Pro mode for sure on this one, and I will be going over the Pro mode and the Expert RAW app, and then I'm going to have some Astro stuff coming up. I'll probably do at least 2 Astro stuff. I want to go ahead and test out the Astro, maybe do some long exposures, some star trails, and then as Milky Way season comes out, I'll definitely do a Milky Way session with the phone, some more phone photography challenges, that kind of stuff. So if there's anything you want to know about the S22 Ultra concerning photography and the kind of stuff that I do with cameras, leave those in the comments below and I will definitely answer them and hopefully be able to throw that stuff into a future video. All right, well, if you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Definitely hit that like button for me, because that's the best thing you can do to help me out, and I really appreciate it. Oh, also, if you like those presets that I used, I have a link for those in the description. You can check them out. I also really appreciate everyone who's supporting me on those. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.